Hello, hello, and welcome to a Mass Effect art stream. Show that. There we go. Yay! We're gonna make some art on the channel. Art on the channel banner to commemorate our time with Mass Effect. So here, let's just get right into it. Hold on. Let me just make sure one more thing. I want to make sure I can. There we go. Yeah, I want to be able to see chat. And I can't always see it with my art program up. So I already ahead of time got some reference art, or reference images. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I grabbed some reference images of male and female Shep. Reference, like, you know, a few different ones in reference of my favorite gun from the game, the shotgun, because that was the weapon I definitely used the most. And real quick, I think I already have an idea of the pose I want. Hang on, let's go ahead and bring back that reference material. Let's do this. Those who have not seen me do artwork before, hang on. Ooh. A big part of how I start these, let's get a nice contrast color. So I'm trying to translate a big character into sprite art. Which is, you know, not always the easiest thing. Sorry. As I'm recording this, I have a cold. I might make some occasional gross sounds by mistake. A big part of how I do that, though, is I start by tracing an outline of the character, which I will then shrink, because what this does is it captures what are the more important parts of the character visually. And I want to mimic this pose because this feels, just to me, looking at things, like an iconic kind of pose for the character. I don't really know what's considered iconic in the Mass Effect fan base because, you know, this is my first time playing the games and I've been avoiding spoilers as much as I can. Alright, let's... What? I'm probably going to change the pose this arm's in, but I want to at least highlight it so I can get the armor shape. But yeah, sorry if I make any sniffle sounds. I got a bad cold right now. Right now, I'm just trying to capture the armor, because we're, of course, going to just paste our own head on. And like I said, this blobby outline, it looks a little jank, and it's like, it's because its only real purpose is to capture the general, excuse me, the general shape. Ugh, I also ate a bunch of candy before starting stream, so, you know, I'm just all kinds of fucked up right now. Because, like I said, what we're gonna do with this outline is very much just shrink it down later. So right now, the focus of it is to just get the general shape of the character. Because what will happen is when I shrink this down, the actually important elements of the character will begin to pop. And you'll see what I mean when we're doing it. This is me getting, like, a rough vibe of the form. It also helps me, like, spot details that I might not spot otherwise, because I'm focusing on doing this outline. Like, yeah, there's definitely... Oh, that's like a special weapon holster, I see. We have just the game soundtrack playing in the background. Yeah, this game was great, and very soon, like the day after this goes up on YouTube, we're gonna be starting Mass Effect 2. So I'm very, very curious to see where that one goes. What's going on here with the stomach, the plating on the stomach is very similar to something we've done in a lot of other sprite art. Yeah, I'm very curious to see where it goes. You know, I'm just hoping to see us, like, bond a lot more with the crew, get to know them more, repercussions for the actions in the first game, because that's kind of what these games are famous for doing, is giving you repercussions. I want to see that terrorist from... I found out that Meteorite was a DLC. Somebody ultimately told me that, and I was like, oh, that's good to know. That's why that one side quest felt so much higher quality than everything else, but also kind of underwhelming for a DLC, depending on how much it cost. Alright, I think... Yeah, hang on now. Let's get some of the leg armor. Ooh, yeah, this is that synthy vibe. There's, like, straps on it I didn't notice. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this entire pink line, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna... Oops. Hang on. Sometimes the game doesn't like me moving little lines. Let's, yeah, pull it over here for a scale reference. Alright, starting to lose detail around here. So what we're gonna do now is thicken the entire outline. And that is sort of like us blurring it a little. The shrink and the thicken and the shrink and the thicken. And what that does is it really helps the important elements of the armor jump out, as certain lines disappear in the process. Because when you're doing sprite art, the real goal is to capture the visual essence. Okay. So I think that's about the scale I'm gonna want. So now, let's go ahead and pull a few sprites from the sprite layer to bring up and do a little bit of kit bashing as we go. So I know for one, I'm gonna want a arm that's bent up holding shotgun. You know, that's a pose I'm always a big fan of doing. Because on this arm I want to have the Omni tool, and in this arm I want to have them holding the shotgun. And I think we're gonna rip this arm for that. Da 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 da. And of course we're gonna want to grab a nice clean head. I think we get a really good head off the Hitman. Alright, bring back the reference stuff. So, bum. There we go. There we go, that's that gone. Let's plop that down right around there. Alright, and we're gonna start sliding this all over the place, grabbing details and elements and colors. So let's start by grabbing this color, something like that, and trace out a bit more of an outline. You know, our actual the outline we'll be working with. We also are going to need to get some boots on there, which, looking at these boots, they're a very sleek looking boot. I'm going to do something very silly, hang on. So, there's a singular pair of boots that we've been using non-fucking stop on most of our art, and I might just rip that boot and modify it a little. It's these boots here, you know, on this character they're the same, on this character they're the same, even on Link they're similar. I use the same base boots for most of my sprite art. Oh god, this piece of the soundtrack, the Citadel theme, is so good. Very, very good soundtrack in this game. Alright, so... Hang on, I should have grabbed more than just the boots, I'm realizing. Give me a second. It's actually pulled from here. Right. Oh, shit. Hang on. God damn it. There we go. So, like... That's around where the knees are. Yeah, I got the scaling about right. Yeah, that feels about right. And so what that tells me is I want the boots. But we gotta play with these boots a little. Hang on. Because the legs are less angled than they are everywhere else. Hang on. Up. Thinking about there and about there. But hang on, let's pull back a little bit of the angle. Maybe not. You know, no, let's leave it like that. Alright. That gives us some feetsies to work with. Alright, and let's get some color swatching out. So, like... something like that. There's our highlight end. There's our super highlight. There we go, just lighten that one a little. Alright, that's going to be our outline right here. So let's now start drawing a little bit of an outline form. Hold on a second. Boom. A boom. There we go, that looks good. Alright. So, this was like a piece of armor plating on the leg. Whoops. Right now we're doing just a lot of blobbing out the form. There was a belt here that ran across, and I know it had a nice bright red in the middle. We're gonna pluck that red there to be the main red we use everywhere red appears. And then it disappeared behind a holster, which for now they're going to describe another color to trace out this rough shape of the holster. Alright. Getting some good form here, I think. In the end, I'm going to like select all and remove all of the pink. But this is me getting a lot of the shaping out. Alright. A lot of this is gonna get very cleaned up as we go, don't worry. This is by no means a finalized appearance to it all. Alright. Let me back up and look at the full thing again. Okay, yeah. So, I think we're going to exaggerate the scale on these shoulder pauldrons a little bit. And give them a little bit of a push-up, so they rest higher on the shoulders than depicted, because I think that'll look better in the sprite art. So, like, their shape is, hang on, something like... Alright. Shrink this down and try and like get a good mind space of how we're gonna capture that shape. A big part of how I think I'm gonna capture it is a nice little slight rotation to it from how it's shown in those pictures. Yeah, okay, I think I got an idea. Let's grab this color. It's like... Whoop, whoop. Like whoop, and then whoop, and then whoop, whoop. Hang on. Let's draw a little bit more of the forearm to lead us into it. Hang on. There we go. That looks very good. That's what I'm looking for. And now let's just take that. Hang on, I think I want to move it up just a tiny bit, though. come on, switch the scale. Jesus. Flip that horizontal. And then there was something else going on. Yeah, with that armor piece. So let's like... Now, real quick, what I'm gonna do here is, give me all of that. Delete all of the pink. And then put that torso trunk back. Oh, come on. Yeah, and I think that's a good-looking arm. I've been playing a lot of games where my character's wearing cool-ass sci-fi armor, I've realized. Alright. Ooh, ooh. Knocking things off my desk. Ooh. And now, let's go over here and grab... Where did I leave that arm? We're gonna grab this arm. Flip hard. No, flip horizontal. God damn it. Flip horizontal. I doubt this is gonna work, but let's try this real quick. I mean, actually, yeah, just give it a little bit of a cleanup, and we got a pretty good job, or good look at what we want there. That one, not as much. But this gives me a rough idea of the bend that the arm is gonna follow. Oops. I also got to pay attention to how the armor's different over there. So it's red and then white. So we're gonna now pluck this red from here. We're gonna go. And how does that reflect on the shoulder? Does the same thing across the shoulder. We're basically gonna remove the entire outline with a thick red line. And then grab, I like that white there for it. It's not, it doesn't feel bright enough actually. Then right around here. And right here. That helps keep the armor pieces visually separate. Alright, now. And now we're going to remove all the pink. Alright, we've got a pretty good basis going here, I feel like. The whole torso feels like it's leaning one side too much. So, like... yeah, that feels a little better. I always hate these kinds of raised up neck collars because they're so fucking hard to do in pixel art. I think the whole head needs to go down. No, that was not the right choice. This feels weird still. Hang on. Let's get some of our color swatches in. Maybe once I dump some color in here, it'll help with the appearance a little. Make it look more solid, help me visualize things better. Come on. Oops. So I'm getting very quiet because I'm just like trying to see what needs improving, you know what I mean? Let's loosen a lot of these thick-ass lines in some areas. All right. Gonna keep it a little thick up on the shoulder pauldrons, though. I think that looks good. All right. We're gonna take a little bit of a break from that armor setup and now try and recreate this fucking bitch. What's nice is, in the case of this one, like, I can really just make it one solid color in my version in the end. Big blade. That feeds into this part here. Let's make that solid. And then there's like a circle right here. That's kept separate. Yeah, okay, so... Oop. It's like the blade reaches down to the knee, okay. You know, for something with a big blade, I don't know if I ever saw this be used in melee combat, which is weird. I need a hand there. Mm-hmm. That. And what we're going to do over here is those aren't the same color apparently, huh? They are now. Because this is gonna be a hand that's gonna be like mostly covered anyway. But I just want to have a thing underneath there, you know what I mean? Mm. God damn it. Alright, now we're gonna grab this orange here for the pink and this yellowy shade here for the circle in the middle. Hang on, that is way too bright of a pixel we grabbed. And honestly, I feel like this came out pretty much perfect looking at things and how it attached. Yeah, okay. Is there a deeper color I can grab, though? More vibrant. A little bit more on the orange end, please. More vibrant. I'm losing the color, hang on. Like that. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. Alright. And now let's play this game. Hang on. Mm-mm. Mm. Slide this onto there. And we're gonna draw a gun. Bum. So it's got this big distinctive curve across the top. And like really, as long as we're capturing that, we're good. Da da da. Flip. Horizontal. Mm. That feels about right for the gun. Maybe I'm oversizing it a little bit, but you know what? In pixel art, that's kind of what you want to do. Let's start pulling some colors for this bad boy. Got a nice gray sheath. Not sheath, handle. And then we're gonna copy that to here. And copy that color here. Oops. It's got those two little red lights. That would be about here-ish. An orange stripe running down the length of it. Hang on, I know what might help me with this. Give me a second. There we go. That'll help me out a lot. So let's smooth this curve a little. Mm-hmm. All right. It's got this kind of prong thing going on here. Oops. Now let's capture those letters. We're just gonna do a little bit of I think that's supposed to be like alien letters. Gonna pull the same red that our suit has just for a little bit of visual consistency. Alright, I think that works well. Probably gonna do a little bit of shading on it in a bit. We've got the rough shape I wanted out. Now they have the N7 logo. What I am gonna do is the good old little micro heart. So there sits above where the curved line thing is. Okay. So like, I'm gonna want like, oops. Yeah. All right. I gave myself some dummy thick thighs here, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Just quickly stick them next to another me and see how the scale feels. Yeah, nope, feels like about the right scale. Oh, the glasses and stuff are completely hollow. What the fuck? All right, now we just gotta do some highlighting. And such. So hang on. Most of it's colored with this. Let's get areas that I know I want to have brighter. We're gonna fill in with this. All right. Actually, I think we can do that a little differently. I think what I'd much rather do is do this. Let's go through and start darkening some areas. Like, ooh. I know I want these dark no matter what because they're the type of padding they are. These are Under Armour sections, so they're going to be made darker. And now we're going to go through and do some highlighting. And then it's a little bit more final touch highlighting. I think that's it. I think that is our Mass Effect to us. Let's go ahead and throw that on to... Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to do a little bit of highlighting and shading here. I'm going to take the lazy route for that one. We're going to... There we go. A little bit of a lazy quick highlight on the gun, but I'm happy with how it looks. Alright, now let's remove the reference layer. And think about where this character's going on the sprite layer, as well as adjust some things in the sprite layering, I feel like. Let's see here. What's that floating head? That's the whip layer still being on. Where do we want to put the Mass Effect sprite? I feel like... Let's move this down here. No, wait. Up here. How far over can I slide you? Yeah, hang on, we're gonna put you over here. We're gonna have them join the other sci-fi shootery suit guys. They just barely fit right there, holy shit. Flip horizontal. Horizontal. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. But we're not done yet with this. No, no, no. You see, there's something else I want to do here. We're going to take this sprite. We're going to go back to the whip layer. What's she doing, huh? What's going on here? We're going to remove my head from it entirely. And we're gonna move this all down again. Could be happening. What is going on here? We're actually gonna hang on. We're gonna full on remove the arms for this. Let's quickly make sure that the pauldrons are the way I want them. Flip horizontal. Something. Okay, it's not height right. Wonder how many of you are gonna be able to guess what the fuck we're even doing here. Like, what is the purpose of this? I'd love to hear what you think. Hang on, I cannot tell the... There we go. Now we're gonna take this whole thing and we're gonna go over here. That's right. We are making a VTube model of this sprite art. So let's go ahead and scale this up a good bit. So I want to scale up until it's a 1 pixel match situation. See, I've actually scaled up a little more than I need to right here. Hold on. Let's do this. Bum. Let's just start out with a flat 200% size increase. Actually, 200% is definitely not going to be enough. Let's go with a... And right now it's at 600%. A little... Or almost 700% size increase. How's that looking? That is... too much. Still too big. Yeah, let's try with the let's see what 500% size increase looks like. Almost just right. Look at that. Come on, get the size right. Is that it? Oh, it's close. But it's not actually matching right. Is that it? Still not quite. There we go. That's a size match. All right. So now, do this. Okay. And I want to do some adjustments here. Bum. Look at that. It's silly and I love it. Let's remove this. Some straggling pieces from the arm. So, why did I remove the arms? Well, oh, I do have arms on my dress version. I forgot about that. Hang on. Now I'm regretting everything I have. Give me a second. Let's go back in here. See, I just want to make the arms all be downward. That's what I really want. Hang on. Give me a second. Sprite. Gimme. For some reason, I was thinking my own VTuber model, which I could see right there in the corner, didn't have arms. I don't know why I was thinking that. You know what? Let's just keep the entire fucking that thing. And we're just gonna remove the hand because it's missing hands and not arms. I don't know why I forgot details about my own fucking VTuber rig. Alright, and then what we're gonna do is flip horizontal, remove all of this. That doesn't seem right. I can't believe I completely lost what I had there because I removed it. Hang on. We'll just have to recreate that shape from scratch a little. Let me look at the reference again. Yeah, this is double up as us making the VTuber. Okay. I'm just thinking. Hang on. Here we fucking go. That feels about the right scale. There we go. All right, now grab this all and bum. Do the red. Goes across here. Across here. There we go. Yee. And I do want to do one more thing to it, which is we need to make the neck hole 1 pixel thinner so that it will match up well with what's going on the other end, you know? And so... And that's going to be perfect for our VTuber now. We just got to scale up right. Scaled it a little too big. Come on, give me the fucking... God. Pissing me off with the scaling here. Still too big. Oh, we're getting to the end credits song of the first. Wow, this video lasted the entire length of the OST. That is kind of hilarious. But I think I want to do an extra little element. Let's get my dress out here, right? And I want to copy part of my dress. So give me that. What we're gonna do is remove the legs. So what we're gonna do is remove all of this. I'm going a little bit more in-depth than I go with a lot of my VTubes, but you know, normally they're just a thing I'm slapping together super fast because I'm like, oh, I could do something fun with this. But this time I'm really putting in some effort. Alright, and now let's Grab this. We just get right there. All right, now grab the thing we put up here, drag it back down. Wait. Oh, okay, I see what happened. Had a little heart attack there as I saw a dress chunk go flying down. Let's turn off the dress layer. Alright. And now let's go ahead and... Oops. This is so silly what I'm doing here, but I'm happy with it. Whoops. Didn't consider the fact that I was going to be negatively affecting the armor here. Whoops. Is this dumb? I feel like this is dumb. I feel like this didn't work out the way I was hoping it would. It doesn't look good. Okay. That was a fun little experiment, but yeah, we're not going to do that. Ooh, I lost a piece of pink pixel. Is that missing on the main sprite? No, okay. Must have accidentally painted over it. Let's chibiify this a little bit though as well. And how big is 1 pixel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, something's not right there. There we go. Oof. See, normally I just do the whole slide the stomach and stuff up, but like that's gonna be a little harder here. Give me a second. There we go. That didn't lose too much. Just slide this over. Oops, slid 1 pixel too far. Ooh, hang on, something else looks off. Ah, I see. I gotta... There we go. And then, yeah, just by shrinking the torso and legs a little, we made it look a little bit silly, a little bit chibi-like. So with that, Let's quickly update all of these things to get the stuff to show. OBS, come on. Wow, right as we end the soundtrack. So hang on. Saving these projects. Our program's taking a second. So now... Wait, why can't I... Oh, I see what the issue is. Hang on. So, hang on. I'm trying to update the banner that you're looking at right now. Come on. Work with me. Did that update? Yeah, that updated that. Okay, hang on. And now let's try and get the new VTuber rig. Hold on, hold on, hold on. All right. Give me a sec. It's being a little fighty with it. Trying to get the new VTuber model set up. Hang on. God, I'm trying to fucking click on things and the Windows bar keeps coming up on the bottom, blocking me. Oh, when I talk, the armor disappears. Hang on. Okay, now it stays when I talk, but if I blink, hang on. It disappears when I blink. Give me a second. That's one more thing I gotta tweak. There we go. Now blinking works. So yep, now we got the new armor. Does it look good? Do any pieces disappear? Nothing gets chroma keyed out? Yeah, okay, because everything is slightly off black. Nothing gets chroma keyed out. Look at that. There's the Mass Effect suit. So yeah, when we start playing Mass Effect 2 very soon, we'll be wearing this. Hope you've all been enjoying us making some arts commemorate Mass Effect. Those you watching on YouTube, Mass Effect 2 begins tomorrow. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta for now.